Hey everybody, how's it going? I am back with a new video for you here today. I'm excited because this is the first one in the month of October. We're into the first weekend right now. It is Saturday as I record this, and I couldn't be happier that it is October right now. Fall is in the air, the temperatures are dropping, all of the Halloween t-shirts and gear are coming out. It's an amazing time. But anyway, what I have for you guys today is a few pickups that I got not too long ago, and just sort of a little sneak preview of what I've been working on and stuff, and what's going on for Halloween. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so first up, recently they released a 4K copy of Creepshow 2. So this is the HD amazing copy that everybody says turned out really, really well. Now, I had the Blu Ray as well, the set from Arrow, right here. That looks just about the same. And you might notice it's not even opened. I was so crazy when I got this. I was kind of afraid to open it. I was too chicken. I saw some videos of what it's like, you know, inside and stuff, and I just never got around to it. And then when I heard this one was dropping, I was like, okay, definitely do not open this until you receive both of them. And then you can have a look and just see what's really different. I think mainly everything is pretty much the same, except of course the image. Now I heard a lot of things about this one over the years, that the imaging on this Blu-ray is not up to par, I guess you could say. Some people were saying there were issues that are no longer present on this beautiful 4K copy. So I'm kind of excited I got to avoid that, and I've been watching, you know, either streaming or on my DVD for years and years. So I'm sure it's going to be an amazing upgrade when I take a look at this film in 4K. So I'm excited for it. Now, Creepshow 2, honest to goodness, it's one that I watched probably the most when I was, you know, I'd say 12 years old, give or take. Like, my parents had Super Channel is what it was, and we would get all the movies, you know, pretty much just after they're released on video, like within probably that month. So it was pretty good that way, and I could record a lot of things, you know, on blank tapes, and Creepshow 2 was one of them that I watched over and over again. I really enjoy the movie. It's dear to me. Yes, my favorite story is The Raft. Most people agree with that. Yeah, The Raft tends to be the popular one from here, but I love them all. They're all cool stories. I didn't like Old Chief Woodenhead as much when I was a kid, but it grew on me. It's definitely one that I like. And I mean, a character like Sam Whitemoon is rather interesting of a character. He's very memorable with how much he just loved himself. Yeah, anyway, I love Creepshow 2. No, it's not as good as the original. The original is amazing. I mean, no one's going to touch that. That's the ultimate anthology horror film, in my opinion. But I love Creepshow 2. It was fantastic, and I'm really glad I have it on 4K, but it's just crazy that I never did open this thing. So it's going to be weird opening them both up, but I will do that. I'll post a comparison video for you guys after this between the 4K and the Blu-ray, just so you can see if there's physically any difference in between the sets. Because I don't think there is very much difference, to be honest, other than the quality, which is really all that matters at the end of the day. It kind of makes me wish I had the blue version of this that came out. It was another collector edition. I forget if the red one was more exclusive. I don't even remember now, but there's a blue one as well, blue cover, that would be cool to have. But anyway, really looking forward to checking this out. Moving on to the next piece is a piece that I found at Spirit Halloween. And I've mentioned stuff like this before, that you know how every year Spirit seems to have usually that one item that's fairly rare and really sought after, really cool item. It gets posted on social media, it gets pretty hot, everybody's looking for it, and they get like 3 of them in for all of Halloween. I don't know if that's the case with this item that I picked up, but every year there seems to be something that's pretty cool like that. You know, originally it was that Michael Myers. It was just basically a stand-up of him with the pumpkin and the knife like this. You know, that was so popular. I thought it was cool. I just know I never got one because I just don't have a place to put stuff like that. It's really tight in here as it is. But that was a really popular one you guys would remember. Another one is, of course, that Halloween 2 pumpkin. That was last year's big deal there. Really cool pumpkin, and really rare last year. They were hard to find. I was lucky enough to get to a store when they had gotten theirs all in, and they had only gotten 3. And I bought 2 of them, and I hung on to the second one for a while because I just knew they were going to be really tough to get, and I thought having another one wouldn't, you know, be a terrible idea because they are so rare. I know what you're thinking. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, you bought another one so you could sell it for staggering profit." No, I'm not the scalping type, guys. What I did with that other one is I packed it up and I sent it to a friend of mine, Boogeyman Ben, who's got a really popular channel. I'm sure you guys know. I've mentioned him many times over the years. He's an influential, great guy, and he was having a bit of a rough time last year. It wasn't the greatest, and I know he was looking for one of those, as everybody was, but because I had another one, and you know, it still had the tags and everything on it, I thought it'd be really cool to get him that. I wish I had thought about it in time for Halloween. It was just crazy busy at the time, and I didn't even realize he hadn't gotten one. So I did send that to him after the fact, and now he's got it on display here this year, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, that was a huge big ticket item for Spirit. Another year I got the Bates Motel, the no vacancy sign, this one right here. I love that sign. I just thought it was super cool looking. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that would look amazing hung up in my, you know, in my horror corner area here that I have. Anyway, I really love that thing. That was a big ticket item for me, and you can still find them at Spirit now. You know, they usually get half a dozen or so in, but it's definitely one of the ones I've liked the most. I find when they're lit up, they don't want to work for, like, they tend to drain the batteries really fast after probably 4 or 5 hours of it being on. It's pretty much struggling. Now, I have been able to shut it off and turn it back on, and it still works all right on the same batteries, but they seem to drain pretty fast in that thing. But it looks so cool. Anyway, getting on to this year and the pickup, I really hadn't heard of anything too crazy, you know, and I'd gone many times before. But over the last few weeks, I had started seeing a few pictures here and there of this item popping up, like a video or two. And I was really impressed. I was like, that is super cool. I would love to have that in my collection. Now, it's not an original. It's sort of like it's not an exact replica. It's just something that looks a lot like the item from the movie. And I'll just get on with it here. It is an item from a very cool horror film, one of the first horror films I ever saw. And it is from Poltergeist. And it is the clown right here from the Poltergeist film. You can see the licensed Poltergeist tag on it and the Spirit Halloween on it there. So it's got all the bells and everything. And he has the long legs and arms. Right now he's sort of packed up with this bow. I'd have to undo this to take him out and show you guys, which I will. But right now he's packed up like this because this is how I display him. But I just thought it was super cool. Obviously it's not the exact size. The one from the film is certainly larger. I believe Sean Clark might have that. Or maybe a different collector, and Sean really wants it. I forget now. But it is a much bigger one, of course, that's in the actual film. And it's not exactly like this. It just looks quite a bit like this. And yeah, I love it. I always thought this clown really freaked me out. I know it freaked out my brother. He hasn't even seen this yet. But I think I'm going to have some fun with him the next time he comes to visit. It might just show up in his room unexpectedly. Anyway, I think this thing is super cool. I'll give you guys some more shots of it here so you can just see a little better what it actually looks like. Okay guys, well let's take a look at the Poltergeist Clown, or the one that Spirit Halloween has this year. Of course, as I mentioned, it's a lot smaller than the one used in the film, but let's see if we can take a look at this thing. Alright, so as you can see, he is styled very much like the one in the film. Obviously not a replica by any means, but certainly along the lines of accuracy, I would say. But yeah, very cool looking little clown, definitely from Poltergeist. I mean, very recognizable. Pretty cool detail in it. Nicely done. All the little bells on it and everything. And the long noodle legs. That is certainly pretty creepy. Yeah, I think it looks great. Even with the smaller size, it's still very, very cool. And officially licensed and everything. So that is cool. Let's take a look at the back. Back, it's got the Poltergeist tag as well here. Made in China, of course, like just about everything. But yeah, very cool. Crazy looking. That's pretty creepy, man. All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Yeah, I just love this thing. I thought this was super cool. Definitely the item to pick up this year for me, anyways. This is the one that I wanted. This Poltergeist Clown. I thought they did a pretty cool job with this. And I can find a place for this in here. It's just one little spot and it's soft. I don't have to worry about some certain kind of special setup, like one of those Myers stabbing things. They have everybody, of course, got Ghostface and all the rest of them at Spirit now as well. But this thing is awesome. I really love it. I love the silver on it, love the bells, and you know, the moon and the stars on the hat. Very, very cool. Cool pickup. This is my Spirit Halloween pickup of the year for 2025. Okay, guys, and that'll pretty much do it for the pickups. But you may have noticed behind me here the grabber mask and the grabber shirt that is here. I did actually pick this up recently. So I'm sort of putting together a grabber, you know, cosplay as best I can anyway. I know this isn't the most perfectly accurate everything there is, but I did notice a lot of the masks that are going around are not as good as that, in my opinion. That's the TOTS one that came out a while back. I actually did a video on it. If I remember, I'll post a link in this to see that unboxing, because it's pretty cool. It came in a great big box and it was all licensed and everything, and you know, it had the information that Tom Savini made it, and it has the interchangeable bottoms and stuff. But lately I haven't seen it. It's almost like they didn't carry it, or they only did one run and that was it. I don't know. But there seems to be a white one that's in the Spirit Halloweens this year. It's very, very pale everywhere. And I know the one from the film is fairly pale like that too, but it has a little bit more of the, I don't know. I just thought that looks pretty badass. But the white one from Spirit, I think, doesn't look quite as good, but it's certainly not bad. So I was kind of glad I had this thing, and I thought, you know, I should really try to do something a little more with it. So I did take a short video today just trying out some of the gear, so I'll show you that now. So of course it's a work in progress. There's still a few things I have to add, of course, and fix up to get a little more accurate. But so far it's looking pretty cool. I like the way it is. There was actually a mask that came with this, of course, because it's one of those typical costumes. Sorry about all the noise, Look at this thing. This is latex, of course, but, you know, padded back. I mean, it looks kind of like a grabber mask, sure, and it does have a seam there, so it looks like it comes apart. But I don't think it's anywhere near that quality. Right? Personally, nah. I don't know. Anyway, the one at Spirit looks kind of like this, only it's hard. It's definitely way better quality. But yeah, I kind of like the look of that one. I think that one looks a little cooler. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't really see a lot of them around right now, so it'll be interesting messing around with that and a few of the different looks that the grabber has. And of course, with Black Phone 2 coming out middle of October this month here, it's going to be awesome from what I can tell from the trailers anyway. But I guess that's no guarantee. I've definitely seen some great trailers and some bad movies, and vice versa. So so far to me it looks really cool. When I saw the trailer, I was definitely impressed. I was like, whoa, like looking forward to seeing that, man. So it's exciting, and there's going to be new looks for him. You know, you've seen the shots, I'm sure, of the bottom of the mask pulled away, and he's all like, looks like a rotting corpse. It's really cool, actually. That's another thing for me, is it's a little challenging doing that when I have the beard, right? Because I do have to hide the beard in the mask, and it kind of does, but you can see it on the sides. There's really no way to save that, so it's never going to look perfect, but not bad considering I have the beard. It's pretty hard to tell anyway, I think. But anyway, yeah, sometimes my options are a little more limited because I have the beard and I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. So it is a little tricky, but I can pull off the Black Phone not too bad if I just tuck it in. The beard on the sides. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, the grabber is the one that I'm most recently working on that's sort of new for me. Not really planning on getting too crazy with it. It'll probably just be like a fun thing that I do, just because I have the resources, you know, and I can put it together for a reasonable amount of money and stuff. So my main focuses are always going to be, you know, Michael Myers, Ghostface, and Jason, and of course Freddy. I'm still trying to get the Freddy dialed in just perfectly. That's one of my favorite cosplays. I think it's one of my best as well. But it's definitely challenging to wear, and I have to do some more upgrades to it to get it a little more accurate and look a little more like how I want it to look. So these are some things I'm working on. But I do have one more really cool pickup coming a little later this month. Well, it's supposed to be here by the middle of October at the latest. Hope. It's UPS, so thank goodness it's not Canada Post, because they are on strike and kind of screwing everything up again, of course. It seems they only like to do it at Christmas or now at Halloween, making me really annoyed. But anyway, in the middle of the month, some exciting stuff is coming. I have a package coming from Creepy Customs. So that's Connor Thins, as you know him. Been dealing with him for years now. He did that Superior 78 suit for me for my 1978 Myers that I wear every Halloween, and I will be doing so again. Oh yes. Anyway, he's super talented, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on one of his replica 1996 OG Scream buck knives. If you guys will remember, I got this one from the Mass Creations, and it was a beautiful knife. It looked perfect, you know, clearly not dangerous, but even it was a little pokey, but it looked amazing. The detail was unbelievable. So I did want to pick up another one of these. I ordered it in, no shit, April, and it told me it was going to ship in the middle of May. I think it was May 19th or something. That's when it said it would ship. May. I wanted it for sure in time for my September expo. September, man. The middle of September. And I was going back and forth with him for a while. The last message I had was August 19th, I think it was. And I hadn't heard anything from him all the way up until, you know, middle of September. And I'm like, hey, the thing, you know, it's the expo's on now, like it's not here. I sure wish I would have heard something from you. I don't know what's going on. And it's like he ghosted me. He just disappeared for weeks and weeks and weeks, like 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. 6 weeks at least. It was a long ass time. And so I finally just went through and got a refund, and that was the end of that. And luckily I got this one from Connor. It was a timed release for what he had in stock of all of his Scream knives, different props, Halloween knives, all sorts of stuff. Well, I had been lucky enough to pick up one of only 2 he had that were replicas from the original film, which I believe is a 1995 buck model. But anyway, I expect Connor's to look at least this good. And what I was getting at, I needed another one because this one, I broke the tip off, and it's broken in 2 places, and I glued it back on so it sort of keeps the shape. But that is why I put the blood all over it, is to sort of hide the broken tip a little more, because I really didn't want to have a bloody knife because the blood gets sticky. I mean, this isn't too bad the way I did this. It's not bad, but using really good quality fake blood, it's almost always sticky. Because it looks amazing, right? But anyhow, there is one from Connor coming. I'm looking forward to comparing it with these other ones here, and I'm sure it's going to look amazing. Everything he does looks so spot on, you know? So really looking forward to that. Now, in the meantime, I had ordered something off his Etsy store for the 78 Myers, and it was a replica Lansom kitchen knife, you know, the one right out of the film. And it looked amazing in all the pictures and stuff. I forget what he calls it now. It's the sitter, the babysitter splitter or something, the sitter splitter, something like that. Clever little name, but they look amazing, and I ordered one on Etsy, and then I told him about it on Instagram or whatever. I said, hey, you know, I placed an order for that. Thanks, you know, they look amazing, and glad to see he's has so much success right now, and he's just kicking ass. Because when I first was dealing with him, he was only into it for a little bit, you know, and he was just building, and so much has happened since. So it's really cool to see how much he's grown. He's really one of the best there is out there. I highly recommend Creepy Customs. So couple of awesome pickups there coming in the middle of October, so I'm looking forward to showing you guys those. And yeah, I plan on using them with the cosplays, of course. Certainly the Myers knife in time for Halloween. I want to be able to take some photos and get them to look, you know, as accurate and solid as I can. So that'll be the goal this year. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now, guys. Like I said, the rest I'm just waiting for some of those things to come in. I am also expecting the amazing Nightmare on Elm Street Steelbook set to finally arrive. So Amazon says Monday. And I know a lot of people have got them already. They got them last week in the States, of course. I'm in Alberta, Canada, so you know I'm always at least a week or so behind. And luckily the Canada Post strike isn't affecting that, thank goodness. So Amazon should have it delivered for me sometime on Monday. So very excited for that. That is another thing that will be coming that we will be taking a look at. So anyway, that is it for now, you guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're enjoying your October and you're watching scary movies and having fun. We will see you again for another one real soon. Happy October to everybody. Take care.